As many of you know, yesterday morning I returned from 48 hours in Israel. The rabbinic mission, sponsored by UJA Federation of New York, was one of solidarity with Israelis to give them chizuk, a boost of strength to remind them that they are not alone. Make no mistake, Israel will prevail in this war. As the father of one of those taken captive by Hamas explained, the side that values life will always prevail. And it is because of the knowledge of just how much Israel values life, how determined the nation has always been to leave no soldier behind, that Hamas abducted 250 people on October 7th, people of many faiths and from many countries. Among them was 36-year-old Yarden Roman, an Israeli-German citizen, along with her husband Alon and their 3-year-old daughter Geffen. They were staying at her in-laws' home in Kibbutz Be'eri, near the Gaza Strip, when 4 terrorists dragged them into a car and drove them toward the border. Just before reaching it, Yarden and Alon decided to escape and jumped out of the car with Geffen. While fleeing under fire, Yarden gave Geffen to Alon to carry, thinking he could run faster and hide her. Alon and Geffen escaped, but Yarden was recaptured by Hamas. Yarden's sister-in-law, Carmel, has also been kidnapped. Her mother-in-law, Kinneret, was murdered. Every day since October 7th, Yarden's family has been working tirelessly to find her. First by conducting search missions in and around kibbutz, and later by speaking to the media. Yarden's siblings, along with the families of other German Israelis kidnapped, have visited Berlin, meeting with all of the highest political representatives and leading a rally of 25,000 people to gather international support for freeing the hostages. Yarden's brother, Gili Roman, is with us tonight. An educator in history, he was principal of an international school which focuses on peace. Then he was head of the strategy team at the Ministry of Education and now works as a consultant for educational initiatives. He is here in the United States to try and continue the international pressure required for bringing the hostages back. And it is my sad honor, but a true honor nonetheless, to welcome him now.
Shabbat Shalom. It's a big hall, but I feel very close to you, closer than I expected. So thank you for being here with us. I want to open by sharing with you the first conversation that I had when we arrived to Washington, D.C. and met Senator Rosen at her Senate office. The senator talked with us about what does it mean to be a Jewish mother. Well, I think we all have some perception of what a Jewish mother means. It's a mother that always concerned whether you are cold, whether you are eaten enough, pushes you to your limits to do the best that you can do. And although it's the 21st century, she still aspires a good shidduch for you. And that was heartwarming to hear. But unfortunately, I also had to tell Senator Rosen that I also have a story of what does it mean to be a Jewish mother. And it's unfortunately the story of Yarden. And it's not a new story. It's an historical story of us as the Jewish people. And the story of Yarden, that was and still is a very good mother, a caring, concerned mother, so attached to her little daughter. We've just came back from a 3 weeks family journey, all squeezed in one caravan in South Africa. After 3 weeks together, being inseparable from her daughter, she had to make 2 inconceivable choices. One, to run for her life in order to save her baby. This is not the first time that we hear about such choices that Jewish mother need to do. And the second, which I sure would was even harder choice, was to give her daughter from her arms to her husband's arms in order to save her life, to give her a better chance for life, while knowing that she might not see her again. And this was part of our history, and unfortunately, it is also part of our present now. We haven't imagined that, but this is the hard reality. But our history also teaches another lesson. And this lesson is that we always prevail, and we always overcome. And if we do it, and we can do it, we can do it together. The story of Yarden is a very hard story. But it's not a devastating story, because the end of his story has yet to be written. And we have an ability to influence the end of this story. Yarden can still be saved. There are over 200 hostages that still can still be saved. We have a chance to save families. We have a chance to save children, women, elderly people. We have the chance to save life. There isn't a more noble goal than this in life. So this is our chance, not only our chance as a family, our chance as a Jewish people, our chance as part of human society to write this chapter, this horrific chapter of history, and give it also a positive glimpse, also a positive, necessary note. In these days, like when I'm here with you, I really feel the power of the famous statement, Kol Israel Aravim זה לזה. I see the immense support that we are getting all over, not only the country in Israel, but all over the world. By individuals, close ones, family, friends, but also independent individuals that stand up and help us. By organizations like the amazing support that we are currently receiving from UGA and JFNA that accompany us through this journey. We as a family, along many other families, are doing our utmost efforts in order to do something to promote any kind of pressure that will come from the people and will come from politicians and policymakers towards the actors that can influence the people that holding Yarden hostage. If you would like to know how you can help specifically our family, you can, of course, enter the website that we have created, bringyardenhome.com. And I guess that there are many other families that are doing different efforts. And if you will seek, you will find a way to support and help in various ways directly to them. And I think it's important because even a word of encouragement means a lot. So obviously any level of support is of the greatest value. So I want to end up by talking about the day after. The day after will save lives. The day after Yarden will meet Geffen. The day after I will get to hug Yarden. The day after we'll see the pictures of kids running into their parents' arms and grandchildren hugging their grandparents. After we'll see those pictures, there will still be hard times, and we are in very difficult, bloody time. But as mentioned before, my main expertise is education, and specifically peace education. So it is my duty to look beyond, because what we will need to secure Yarden's future, to secure Geffen's future, and all of the children held hostage or living in Israel or in general, is to pursue a better future. And there will be a day when we will be able to dedicate ourselves to that. And it's important for me that we'll all hold on to this hope, the hope to save life, to bring them back home as soon as possible, and eventually also to pursue and seek a better life for everyone. And I'll finish with a very dear blessing that is close to my heart. It might be hard to say these words today because they seem far from reach, but I will say them anyhow, and I hope that you can join me in your heart or by saying, עושה שלום במרוממיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gili. We will not let anyone forget that Yarden is still captive. Tonight, as you exit, you should take a blue ribbon. If you didn't take one when you came in, you should take a sticker with her face on it. But right now, we're going to do something else. We're going to call on the United Nations and our own representatives in Congress to step up their efforts. While I'm not a fan of cell phone use during Shabbat services, Jewish tradition is clear that the saving of life supersedes any ritual restrictions. So I would ask you to take out your cell phones now and open up your web browser. And type into it the American Jewish Committee website, actnow.ajc.org. actnow.ajc.org. And if you scroll down to the graphic labeled, "Urge the UN and Congress demand Hamas release the hostages," and click Take Action, you'll be asked to fill out a simple form with your name and address, and then you'll be able to send an email both to the United Nations and to your own representatives depending upon your district.